Hello, how you doing today? How is the day going for you guys? Today I want to share something that I kept, that I had promised that I was going to share to continue on our. It's a Monday today, and we're sharing, always on Mondays we talk about some things that will, help us build our wealth, promote our career, anything that relates to us upping our finances. So today it's a continuation of a topic that I shared before. I started a couple of weeks ago, and I said we're going to continue to talk about, just sharing some tips from my experience that I think that's going to help to, put together a good job search portfolio. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about or sharing some great resume tips, a resume or CV or curriculum vitae, however you call it. Some tips for tips for a great resume, and also sharing some great interview skills, okay, that you need to have if you must land that dream job of yours. If you must land that dream job, I think some of these things I'm going to be sharing today is going to really be important. So you want to hang in there with me. You want to watch till the end, okay? I'm going to try to keep this brief, keep it concise and straight to the point, so that I'm not going to be here more than half an hour. Alrighty. And if you jump onto this slide, please help me share to be a blessing to somebody else. Alright, and I thank you in advance for doing that. Oh, pardon my camera is very poor these days, and some things are happening. See how I look for this video. Sure, I don't even know what I say. Yeah, I know why, and it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better in just a matter of a short time. But if you know me, I need to shake for buy anything too quickly. I have to put it in my budget and make it work according to my budget. We're gonna get this going. Just focus on the content and just forget about the color of my face, okay? Just open your ears to the content. For today at least. I'm gonna make it better next time. I'm gonna brighten my light. Oh, if we're meeting for the first time, my name is Silverlyn. Thanks for connecting. Thanks for joining me on board today. I want to share a few things about resume tips. Tips for having a great resume that can actually land you or give you great probability for landing your dream job. Thank you for joining me. If you join me, please help me share the video. I appreciate that a lot. So like I said, I'm jumping into it right now, sharing some great resume tips. Resume or a CV, however you call it, a CV or curriculum vitae is a document that you use to apply for jobs. It's a common document. So I'm gonna be sharing some tips that can set your resume up for success, that can really get in front of those hiring managers. And I'm also gonna be sharing some interview tips, some job interview tips. Okay, I'm sharing some of these things, from my experience. If you've been watching my videos before, you might have come across, one that I talked about, my journey, like when I came here, like a gazillion amount of interviews that I attended, so many jobs that I applied for, when I just came here trying to land a job without knowing that, without realizing how tough, it actually is, and also some challenges that also surrounded me at that time that would not kind of help me land the job that I wanted, because I thought I could just use my certificate that my degree that I came over here with and get the job that I wanted, but it didn't work out like that. So because of that, and because of how ambitious and the go-getter that I am, I just kept going for all this, I kept applying all over again. And because my resume was pretty good, they kept calling me for all these interviews. Then when they interviewed me, anyways, my resume landed me a whole lot of interviews, okay? And that's like the first step that you want. you want your resume to be good enough to, you know, to get that opportunity to land you, you know, an interview, then you go from there. Because as you would have known, or if you don't, if you've not heard before from my, like, a previous video too, I had mentioned that the process of getting a career job, a good job here, is actually not, it's actually pretty lengthy. Okay, it's actually pretty lengthy, unless you're really, really lucky. Okay, so what are some of the things that can boost your resume or make your resume really land you that interview that you want so badly? I am gonna keep this very brief or very concise so that we don't take too long. So I'm gonna be just, you know, going straight to the major headlines that you want for your resume. Number one is your resume. You don't want your resume to be more than 2 pages long. Ideally, your resume should be just 1 page. Okay, these hiring managers, they don't have time. You know, they have a whole bunch of resumes or applications that come, you know, on their desk, and they can only afford to put a minute or so, you know, to look at one resume. So one pile of one application packet. So they don't have time to go scrolling. You have, like, some people get a 5 resume or 5 pages. They make long story. You know, you don't want that is not gonna help you. You want to make your resume to fit. Maximum, it should be 2 pages long. It should not be more than 2 pages long. Like I said, ideally it should actually be 1 page. Everything summarized, put concisely on a single page. Maximum 2 pages. If you have, you know, 2 pages is common too for people who have quite a bit of experience. You know, like they've had experience working before, so they have all those past job history to list. But if you are an entry level job seeker, there should be no reason why your resume should be more than a page. You know, there should be no reason for it being any longer than a page. So number 2, I say it should not be more than a page. Number 2, you want to use bullet points. Okay, you want to use bullet points on your resume. What are bullet points? Just to break that down, in case you're wondering what that is. So it's, you know, when you're using Microsoft Word document, Microsoft Word, no, instead of writing your resume, typing everything in paragraph form, you know, it doesn't really look catchy. As a matter of fact, it gets hard to read when everything is like a long, like you are narrating a story in a long paragraph form. It's not as attractive as a matter of fact, nobody writes resume like that these days. Okay, the kind of resume we are talking about, that you want to land a career job, you want to make it very catchy, very concise, very straight to the point, that somebody, when they grab it, they look at it, they can see everything is right there. Like, they can see bullet points. Bullet points is like a list. Okay, when you go to Microsoft Word, on top of the menu bar there, you see bullets. They have different shapes. Some bullets are arrows, some are circles, some are squares. You want to use bullet points to highlight your skills. Okay, use bullet points to highlight your skills, so that when they grab your resume, they can see, boom, you have done this before, boom, these are the skills you have, boom, 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 boom. They can see it. Like, it's very easy to read. It's easy when you list it like that. You know, it's very, it catches the eye, and it's very easy for the human resource or the hiring manager to read and quickly see what your skills are, you know, your qualifications for the job. So yeah, you want to use bullet points. What is another characteristic of a great resume? You want to use, you know, action words and use them in the past tense. What do I mean by that? Action words of the skills, you know, the experiences you've had, the things you've done in the past that relates to this job, and use them in past tense. For example, you know, if you were a manager, I'm gonna pull up a document, and I will just a sample resume. I actually have it already open, and I will show you what I mean by that. I thought I had this document already open. I think I do. Oh yes, I do. So what do I mean by, I have a sample document here that I'm not able to show you because I'm using my laptop and it's on my laptop. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll take a picture of it and show you. Even though it's gonna be small, but it's gonna help. Um, you are gonna be able to see something very important here. Yeah. Okay. So let me show you what I mean by that. Okay. Good. 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 Oh. So you are at the use an older phone these days that is having a very poor camera, because like I mentioned before, an accident happened with my little kiddo baby who dropped my phone that has not even been more than a year. Drop it in the bathtub and it's completely destroyed. So I want to show you guys something. Let me see if you can see that. Okay. So what did I was talking about you listing your skills, the experiences you've had before. Say you are looking for a customer service job, or say you are looking for, let me just say, for a management. I think management will be a good example for these skills. This is a sample resume. I just want to show you something. When I say use action words and use them in the past tense to display or illustrate the things that you've done, the skill set that you've acquired in your past job experiences. Okay, you want to use that you want to flash that to the hiring manager so they see the skills that you're bringing to the table. For example, I'm going to read this one, then I show you. Just read a few of them. So this person here who has this resume says, say they are looking for a management job, that requires different skills, like, being able to, say this is a startup company, startup organization. By startup, I mean like this is a new organization that is just forming, and so they really need a manager who is tech savvy, meaning they can quickly, navigate social media, all this, can learn new technology fast, and they can really help with setting up some, designing some graphics for the new startup company. And then they also need those leadership skills that a manager would normally, be required to have. So this person says, list. Oh, by the way, see, this is what I meant by bullet points when I talked earlier. Bullet points. Do you see those little dots? You just list your. I hope you can see that. You see how the person lists their. I'm wondering if you are able to see it. Wait, oh, did it just go blank? Sorry, I didn't realize that. But I think you saw it. Yeah, you see the bullet points. Then this person says that he designed graphics. He's listing his experiences, his skills that he thinks are relevant for this job that he is applying. So he says he designed graphics. You designed, you can say I can design graphics. I can use, the design in past, because that's what you did. Those are the skills that you've acquired in your past, experiences, maybe your previous jobs, or even in school. Even if you've not had any previous job, you are just a new graduate, you can list the skills that you've acquired in the course of your learning, the course of the projects that you did while in school. So never undermine the skills that you've acquired even while studying in school, especially if you did some practical projects. So this person said they designed graphics, managed social media sites, created and managed, Google Forms, managed organizations' email, collected data, processed application. I'm not reading the whole sentences here because I only because I just want you to listen to the first words, the way the person is using them here. Created and managed Google Forms, managed organizations email, processed applications and cut checks, advocated for the organization, for the company, made and answered phone calls, entered and set up new hires, processed terminations or processed employee terminations, reconciled bank statements, prepared payroll, managed managed spreadsheets, created and processed invoices, calculated accrual rates. So you get the point. You get the point, right? Let me just quickly run through it again. This person, listing their skills. I think I can just show you that you actually see. The first one, it says designed graphics, managed social media, created. You see the first words, how they're using them. Managed, processed, advocated. Let's see these ones at the bottom. Entered, processed, reconciled, prepared, managed, processed, created. That's the point. You want to use it like that. Use those you want to use those verbs like that. It really helps to display what you actually did, what you. So that when they are asking what are the things you've done before in your prior, so it actually displays or show them what you are capable of bringing to the table onto this new job. So that was point 3. I talked about you using those action words like that in the past tense. Then the fourth thing that I can think about for a great resume is you want to also include at the bottom of it, the bottom of your resume, you also want to add your any hobbies that you may have. Okay, you want to add any hobbies. They like to know, like, besides just your academics, you are somebody who has a whole more life besides just work. A lot of them, they want to know, like, aside from work, what else excites you. So write 1 or 2 hobbies that you have there. On hobbies, you can just say, yeah, you like to. I think this person on this resume, this person actually has one. Another very important thing, yeah, extracurricular activity, which is the hobby I talked about. And also, if you have, especially if you are a new college graduate who does not have a lot of work experience like in the past, because you're just a new graduate, you can list if you've volunteered before, you've had any volunteer experience, list it there. If you've done any voluntary work, you want to list that there. Any community involvement, if you've supported your community in one way, participated in some community charitable causes that you've volunteered in, you want to list that in your resume, because it says a lot to your personality. It says a lot to the kind of person that you are. So you want to add that, have a section at the bottom of your resume for your community involvement and any volunteer services that you've provided. When you do that, I think these are like the major things. When you do that, I'm telling you, you're setting your resume up for great success. You're setting it up to actually land you that dream job that you are looking for. All right. So now I'll quickly talk about interview skills and wrap this up. Some interview skills interview skills that you want to have, you want to develop to actually land you that dream job. Like I already mentioned before, here to land a great job, a great career job, a professional job, the steps, you go through a few stages, a few different steps. You apply for the job, you're called, they do this phone screening, they call you on the phone. If they actually just see you, like they want to check you out, first of all they call you on the phone, like most likely the typical way they will call you on the phone, they interview on the phone, and then now set you up for, like, after you've submitted the application with all these things I'm talking about, with your resume included, then they'll call you for interview on the phone. Then most likely they call you for an in-person interview after the phone interview. So these tips I'm talking about that I'm going to be sharing, they apply most, like you find them handy even if it's on the phone, and on the phone interview, or it's an in-person interview. They're going to be very helpful for you. A lot of time it's a common question for people to ask you. You go to an interview and there is a whole big interview panel. Sometimes there are like 4 people sitting there interviewing you alone. The first thing I want to say is walk in there with your, walking with your chest up, walking like straight up. Like, first of all, dress well. Dress. They say dress to impress. Okay, dress to impress. Don't go there shabby. You want to dress appropriately to the job that you're looking for. If you're looking for a professional job, you want to have your attire looking sharp and neat. Not a beach wear, not a swimming pant kind of wear, not a summer bum short. No bum shorts. So you want to dress appropriately, modestly and neat. Okay? Yeah, dress to impress. It's actually a really major thing. Then, you want to walk there with confidence. Okay, you want to walk confidently into the interview. You go there. I'm telling you here, even a handshake matters. Like, you get there, as you meet people, you give them a solid handshake. Don't be like, that kind of handshake they want to greet you. You be like the fair fear, like like you are intimidated. No, give a solid. As they grab you, the way they grab your hand, you too give a similar grab accordingly to give you a handshake if the person is giving you a handshake. So be confident. Walk in there boldly. Walk in there confidently. All right? Like what you know that you can do this. Don't be timid. And you go there, a very popular question they ask you. A very popular question that they always do, they always ask to get you talking. They say, tell me a little bit about yourself. Yeah, that's a very common question interview managers they ask. Tell me a little bit about yourself. So a lot of time that question is to get you talking. They want to know a little more about you, and they really want, that question is not for you to go rambling telling them, oh, my name is Sivalene, I have 3 kids, hey, I am married, I have this kind of house, I have this, hey, I'm coming from a family of how many siblings, my parents is. That is not what, those are all, that is a very bad example, I'm telling you. Okay, that is not the answer they want from you. They want you to tell them a little bit, a summary, about you, and really they just want to hear how it relates to that job. Okay, so a good example is, my name is Sivalene. So thanks for having me. My name is Sivalene. I'm an accounting professional with a degree in banking, with 2 associates degree in banking and finance and in accounting. And I landed on this job on, say, Indeed. And what I can say, Chinese, I'm not. Tell them about how you found that job. You can tell them where you are at in your career. Can be like, at this point, I'm looking for a job that that gives me the flexibility to be able to have some, to be able to work around my my family schedule. I'm looking for a job that can give me the opportunity to put my skills to work. I have so and so 4 or 5 years experience doing accounting and payroll, and some human resource management. So you see how you're telling them things about yourself that relate to the job. Okay, you say, yeah, have all of this so and so experience, and so I saw this job on Indeed, and I thought, yeah, this looks like the perfect fit you know, for me, it looks like what I'm looking for. It looks like I'm gonna be a great fit for this job, because the experience, you know, because the requirements that you list on this job, these are just the kind of the experiences I've had in my previous job. You say, okay, you're looking, I see from your job description that you're looking for somebody who is tech savvy. Oh yeah, you say, I've done this in the past in my previous job. Yeah, this is what I did. You that's how you, so you give them that a summary like that before they go asking you more and more. So you talk about, you know, the things that are relevant to the question that they are asking you, to the job, you know, that you're seeking for, that you're applying for. So yeah, the other thing about interview skills, I'm wrapping this up, is actually this one I talked about is a very common one, and it's very important how you deal with that question, because it's easy for people to go rambling and just ranting about their entire life and not really focusing on what they want to hear as it relates to that job that you're applying. And before you go for an interview, take your time and do some research about the company you wanna, you're applying for, to work for. Do a little research so that when you sit there and they're asking you, because a lot of times they ask this question, yeah, what interests you? Like, why do you want to work for us? Why do you want to work for our company? You should be able to tell them that, oh yeah, as I was preparing for this, I did some research on your company. I saw that you people, these are your values. I see this is your vision. Because if you go on their about site on their company, the website, you go to the about section of any company website, you will be able to see their vision, their mission statement, their vision and their values. Their mission statement, their vision for their company, and their values. Those things, you see them always on the about section, like that, where you see they say about us on any website. When you click on that about us page, you see those things. You always see their mission, their vision, and their values. So by the time they ask you, yeah, what interests you in coming in, in wanting to work for us, you tell them, you say, yeah, as I was doing my research about your company, I realized that you people, you have these values. These are your values. This is your mission statement. You start giving them that, then they know that you even put in some effort, to research about them, and that you've actually done your due diligence to know a little bit about them. Then that has actually, prepared your interest more to work for them. Don't be like you walk in there and you don't know, like you know nothing about their company. Then they're going to be wondering, why do you even want to work for us when you don't know nothing about us? So, but if you can tell them that, when I saw your values on your website, yeah, my values, my values, the things that I value, they just align. My values seem to just align with the things that you people value in your organization. I like that you are diverse. You encourage a diverse workplace. This, for example, you see your your employees as assets. You value your employees. Sometimes you can even tell them, because some people can go as far as actually checking reviews for the company before going for their interview, and that's a very good thing to do. You check reviews. Reviews are on Google about the company. You can say, oh, I was just doing some little research about, I saw some reviews on your company, and I saw people giving all this positive feedback about the way you treat your employees, the way you value your employees, those kind of things. Then they know that you actually have done your job to actually know something about them, and that has increased your interest to want to work for them. Then they know that this person, at least if this person has done this, put in all this effort, then they are like, this person is more likely to retain this job long term if we offer this job to him or her. So those are some of the things. Okay, you want to do your research about the company. You want to go there boldly, not be timid. Keep your head up, be confident. Share your experience with them. Share your experience. When they ask you the different interview questions, give them the relevant details that pertains to the question. Okay, don't go beating around the bush. Attack the questions, give them the major answers that they want to hear. Okay, because another common question, they will say, tell me about can you share a little bit about your strengths? Your strengths. what they say, what are some of your strengths and your weaknesses? Very common. So you want to tell them your strengths, and they also want to hear your weaknesses. And the strengths that you want to share those skills that you have that relates to the skills that they need for that job. Okay, say they want somebody who is people oriented. You say, yeah, I'm a people person, you know, I've been doing customer service for so and so long time. I love helping people, I love interacting, I love forming relationships, you know, those kind of thing. Then your weaknesses too, they want to hear. And something tricky about the weaknesses, this is where I'm going to end this, is even though they want to hear your weaknesses, but you always want to flip your weakness to be a strength. Okay, don't just say, I'm so terrible, I am terrible at coming, you know, coming on time to work, like I'm terrible, I'm always late. You don't tell them that. Right? Even though that could be your weakness, you don't want to tell them, how I'm so bad at numbers, like I am so terrible at, no, you don't want to tell them that. You want to actually use whatever is your weakness, flip it a little bit for it to sound positive. Flip it. A common thing for me, if I were asked that question, like, tell me a little bit about, you know, what are some of your weaknesses, I can say I tend to pressure myself a lot. You know, I tend to put pressure on myself a lot. You know, when I have tasks to be completed, like I have, my job to be completed, or I have some tasks, some projects to be completed, I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself. See, that sounds like a weakness, right? Like I'm pressuring myself. But keep listening. I say I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself because I like to get things done on time or even sooner. That's why I pressure myself. Like, I like to get things done, and that's actually something very real for me. Like, I like to get things done sooner than later. Like, I just want to get it done and get it out of the way. So I put a lot of pressure on myself a lot of times. So, but you see how the flip side of that, how good it is. So they be like, so that means you can actually keep up with deadlines. And that's actually a major thing, like in my career. Deadlines are very important. Like, they give you this project and it's supposed to be due these deadlines, you know, on this. So they know that if you are that kind of a person, you will always meet up with your deadline because you are always, you know, making sure you get things done sooner than later. So that's it, you all, for today. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions for me, or let me hear what other tips that you may have. Share so that we can learn one from another. Actually, reading something here on my screen that, but I'm sure you guys don't see, just a pop-up. Yeah, help me share this video widely so that people can share, you know, their experiences. Maybe share more interview tips, share more, or, you know, just a whole job search portfolio tips that what is working for you, what has worked for you to land that career job that you've been looking for. What are the things that are working for you, or the things that you have experienced that does not work, so that others can learn. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye. Love you all.